Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Shining Song Starnova with me, Phantom Zwei. When we last left off, we were heading into the girls' first photo shoot for their first live, so let's see what happens. The day of Starnova's first photo shoot arrived. Even though it was just a swimsuit service piece printed on the pages of a gossip rag, this was merely our first step to becoming Japan's next pop sensation. Indeed, even today's biggest idol producers began from nothing. The war to emerge from obscurity was merely a series of battles fought on the pages of smutty magazines, leaflet distribution campaigns, and guerrilla lives performed in dark alleyways. The wealth and glitz of stardom wasn't just going to waft from the heavens onto your lap, unless you were willing to march waist deep in the mud, mosquitoes buzzing around the sweat pouring down your face. Or so I thought to myself as we faced our latest predicament. Dun dun dun! It's that pool. It's clearly that pool, huh? Producer-san, it's that pool. The dubious pool of nighttime legends. To think one would actually bathe in its mystical waters. To think that our initiation would begin here. How bold of Producer-san. Eh? What's up? What's the big deal about this pool? What, are like porn scenes filmed here or something? Mariah marched up to me, ready to grab me by the scruff of my tie. What's the meaning of this? You said it wasn't a nudie mag. Well, the Weekend Zara, while playfully risque, certainly does not print anything requiring the use of mosaics. Of course, our deal with them is swimsuits only. It's just like gravure. That's all it is. Then why the hell are we at that pool? That pool has a multitude of clientele, and is a prime spot for budget photo shoots throughout all 4 seasons. Listen, this is all just... Just then, the cheerful voice of a young man interjected. Oh man. Yo, how are you folks doing? A pleasure to work with you. I'm Shining Productions Oh, that was Producer-san. A pleasure to work with you. I'm Shining Productions Ah, yes, pleasure. I'm Kodama from TGXI. I'll be managing the shoot today. Julie whispered to Mariah. TGXI? It's not the Weekend Zara? Mariah whispered back. A lot of smut magazines are actually all owned by a single parent company. And who knows what else this GTXI has its tentacles wrapped around. Kodama returned his attention to the girls. Why, hello, my kittens. Out of years of Japanese conditioning, the girls responded in unison. We look forward to working with you. Well. They're a bit older than the usual idol stock, aren't they, Producer-san? Well, that only makes them even more experienced. Right. Alright, my kitties, chop chop! Get those bottoms moving. We've got to wrap this up in 3 hours. Everyone, please change into your swimsuits. Let's work hard together to make this shoot a success. Meanwhile, the girls whispered amongst themselves as they changed, and it's gonna be more titties, I'm sure. Hey! You're not gonna make me edit it. I'm happy about that. Why the hell's a shoot being held here? As indoor pools go, this place certainly is an iconic location. You suppose it'll be alright? I mean, they fuck in there, you know? Shit. In fact, this room is where they shoot all the skits before they start the banging, isn't it? It seems like Julie is quite intimate with this place. It was just a bit of research on the net. What? Don't look at me as if I've been here before. I bet the producer's laughing in the pool room right now, along with that sleazeball from TGXI. Ho ho ho! We'll make Fukuzawa-san rain from the skies while the girls humiliate themselves. Ah, Producer-san, these girls are so desperate they'll be willing to do anything. It's only a matter of time until they're begging to be in our nudie mags too. You fool! What if the girls hear you? You mustn't give away our grand plans so soon. True, Producer-san. Yeah. That's probably what the two of them are saying right now. Shameful. I had no idea. You... Obviously, you haven't been doing your homework. The pool is merely a rite of passage for anyone who wants to be an idol. Besides, it's not like they only shoot AVs in there. They do regular gravure and television shows. It's just a cheap set reserved by entertainment companies looking to save a buck. Aki-chan is correct. We must use this opportunity to promote Starnova if we are to grow as idols. Natan doesn't really know what's going on, but what's so crazy about this pool? Don't tell me! Was someone murdered here? It's not that, you dork. Julie can show you footage of this pool's past usage once this is over. Why is everyone treating me like the expert? It's because Julie-chan's obviously the top bitch of Starnova. Oh, you. Shut your brat trap. Whatever. Just don't come and crying to me when this all goes south. Hey, Sasa-chan? Are you alright? You haven't said a word since we got here. Sasami spoke absent-mindedly. You see? Just look at how shocked Sasa-chan has to be here. Or is to be here. As expected, Sasa-chan is the moral compass of Starnova, eh? Don't be scared by Mariah's words. It's just gonna be a regular swimsuit photo op. Just treat the pool as nothing more than a backdrop, okay? I guess Aki-chan's right. So? Why aren't you getting changed? Sasami blinked, then suddenly came upon the realization that everyone else was already in their swimsuits. Huh? Strange. When did everyone else... Are you alright? Is something wrong? Sorry, everyone. Go on ahead. I need to use the washroom. Before anyone could respond, Sasami turned around and rushed into the hallway. What's come over her? Could it be stage fright? Well, I guess since we're taking individual shots, we can distract the TGXI guy while Sasa-chan calms down. Aki, see what you can do with Sasa-chan, while we get producer side. Alright. The 5 girls entered the pool. Huh? Weren't there 7 of you when this started? I saw Mariah motion for me. I leaned into her shoulders as she informed me of the situation. Something's wrong with Sasa-chan. For now, Aki's trying to figure out what's happening. We'll have to do the photo shoot without him for now. Sasami? What could be the matter? Could it be... Alright, I understand the situation. I turned to Kodama and spoke to him in the most apologetic tone I could muster. It appears one of the girls is momentarily unwell. Just a little anemia. She'll be alright after sitting down for a few minutes, though. For now, let's get the shoot started with the other girls. I see. Well, as long as she'll be ready by the time we're done with the others, it shouldn't be a problem. Well then, my kittens, let's get started, shall we? Sasami sat hunched over on the toilet, sweat pouring down her face. Or hunched over the toilet, not on the toilet. Her heart pounded in her throat, sending the deafening beat of war drums pulsating through her burning ears. She stared in on panic as drops of perspiration dripped down her chin onto the floor, slowly forming a puddle. How embarrassing. She'd already expelled the contents of her stomach into the toilet. She gripped her belly as her insides coiled. Aki knocked on the other side of the door. Sasa-chan, are you in there? Are you alright? You looked in a hurry there. Sasami took in a deep breath and tried to speak as normally as possible. Yeah, don't worry. I just suddenly had to use the washroom. Eh? I see. Well, happens to all of us. Mika posed in front of the pool with an awkward smile. Like this, Black Knight? This is a bit... Hashimoto-san, there's no need to be nervous. A natural smile will do. Natural? What is natural to followers of the light? A night dweller such as myself has no knowledge of such matters. Mika's eyes spun in panic as Kodama snapped shots of every nook and cranny of her body. It was obvious that Mika had no prior experience with a cameraman buzzing around her exposed body. Kodama flew in close to her bust and put the lens mere centimeters from her breasts. Mika instinctively wrapped her arms around her chest. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Wrapped her arms around her chest and spun around, mistaking the camera lens for groping hands. Producer-san. Mika! I'm sorry. Mika's face flushed red as tears began to line her confused eyes. I rubbed my head and calmed myself. This was Mika's first photo shoot. I couldn't expect professional quality yet. My apologies. She's still the most junior member of our agency. Well, no need to worry, producer-san. Then let's do it like this. Kodama led Mika into the pool and had her bend down until her ass was pointed outwards, her crotch just barely above the water. Now look this way. Kodama put his finger into the pool and splashed water in his direction, as if calling a school of fish. Mika gulped down her tears and put on a brave face as Kodama snapped photographs, mostly fixating on her butt. Oh, nice shot. A girl's ass is always smiling. Wow. Oh, this guy. Sasami gripped her stomach. Okay, I probably shouldn't be amused as I move into this next scene, obviously. Sasami gripped her stomach as a man's voice bellowed in her head. What are you doing? Your career depends on this shoot. Can't you see you're just dragging your teammates down? Her head spun as she heard the disgusted voices of girls she once believed to be her friends. Look, it's Goody Two-Shoes who's too good to take some photos with us. Ah, good going, princess. This is our only chance to show the world our worth, to middle management. You blew it for the rest of us. You weren't the only one getting photographed like that, you know. Suddenly, she fell into total vertigo as a pair of masculine hands gripped onto her shoulders. You're going to do this. This is your only chance. The other girls are already on board. Her heart nearly burst from her chest when those male hands tore her button-down shirt open. All the strength in her body drained. She had lived in a sheltered home her entire life, completely oblivious to the violence that men could inflict on her. She had no idea that men's arms were so powerful. Stop it. I paced the floor of the pool as Aki and Sasami still failed to show up. Mariah finished with her shoot. As soon as the camera stopped clicking, her well-rehearsed smile vanished from her face. Boy, producer, I'm not liking this. Mariah could already sense that Kodama was getting increasingly antsy. Hey, producer-san, I hate to be a downer, but shouldn't the other girls be back by now? You said 7 girls on the phone. The company went through quite a lot of hoops to get a page for each girl. It would be a shame if things don't go to plan. It will only be a matter of time now. Is it, Nimu's turn now? Nimu prodded Kodama on the shoulder, her massive assets nearly spilling out of her swimsuit. Kodama's eyes widened as the bounty before him instantly vaporized his concerns. Aren't you a thing? Let's get shooting. Nice save, Nimu. With Kodama's attention diverted, I leaned to Mariah. I'm getting worried about Sasa-chan. Can you handle things here? I'll go check what's going on with Aki-chan. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I turned and left for the exit when I heard Kodama's voice. Hey, Nimu-chan, do you think you can take your top off? Yes? Oi, what are you... I spun around and marched to the poolside. Back to poolside. Of course we wouldn't print anything so lurid, but it would be such a waste to just pass Nimu-chan's stunners by. How about just holding them in your hands? Nimu-chan, you're totally fine with that, aren't you? Akimoto-san, you don't have to agree if you're not comfortable with the idea. The understanding was just a simple photo shoot involving swimsuits. Of course, this is merely a suggestion to make the perfect image. Very well, I understand. Are you sure? This isn't really a requirement. Yes, I'm glad to assist the team in however manner I can. Alright. I stood by just in case to ensure Kodama kept his end of the bargain and refrained from secretly snapping any untoward photos as Nimue removed the top of her swimsuit. The top straps floated provocatively in front of Nimue as she smiled innocently with her palms up against her breasts. Kodama's camera clicked in rapid fire. "Oh, great! Wonderful! Nimue-chan, you're just wonderful!" Sasami gasped for air, her chest heaving. Her entire body was drenched with sweat. "No, stop it!" But her voice was merely a futile whisper against the man's overwhelming bellows. "This is what you must do! This is what it means to be an idol!" Her world spun as she heard her shirt tear off. He gripped her shoulder against the wall and tore off her skirt. "Someone!" Her body pressed against the wall, she retreated as far as she could go, her heels digging into the base of the wall. Finally, with nowhere else to run, her consciousness retreated as far as it could from the terror, into a dark corner of her brain. For a moment, she saw herself, naked down to her underwear, being pressed against the wall by a middle-aged man crazed by greed. So this is what happened. This is what made me want to give everything up. I wonder if I should just stop. The words echoed in her head. "This is what it means to be an idol." They repeated, forever etched into her mind. Suddenly, "You! The hell are you doing?" A young man she'd never seen before. Before anyone could react, he delivered a devastating uppercut to Sasami's apparent assailant, sending him crashing to the floor. The young man panted in disbelief at what he'd just done. Suddenly, he was surrounded by staff members and restrained. "You bastard! How dare you!" The angry middle-aged executive wiped the blood dripping from his nose. "I'll have you fired for this. You'll never work at Golden Calf ever again. You hear? A man without the gall to push lazy talents to do their job has no place in the idol industry." One of the executive's assistants passed him a handkerchief. The executive pulled himself and wiped the blood from his face. He turned around to the various staff members and towns gathered for the photo shoot. "This is what happens to those who do not do their jobs here. Take him away." The young man hung his head as the staff members escorted him away. Sasami trembled on the floor as the executive sneered at her. "Useless! Bring me a replacement for her. This one's no good." I rushed to the washroom as soon as Nimue's photo shoot concluded. So that was what happened. "Oh, producer-san. Aki-chan, is Sasami alright?" Well, my heart was pounding with worry by now. What if, because of that incident, Sasami was... I released a sigh of relief upon seeing Sasami safe. "Sasa-chan. Despite everything Producer-san's done for me, it looks like I've just caused trouble for him again." What are you talking about? We're still in the middle of the photo shoot. Besides, the Kodama guy booked the place for 3 hours. Don't worry, we still have plenty of time. I see. Anyways, you feeling alright? Because of that incident. Don't worry, Producer-san. I'm fine. Besides, what kind of idol would I be if I fainted from something as simple as a swimsuit photo op? Alright. Then let's go. Oh, Sasa-chan. Picking such a bad time to take number 2. And people call me the shit, loli. Okay. Sasami's face turned bright red. Aki-chan, what are you saying? It's common knowledge that idols do not poop. Yes, clearly. Oh, saying such outrageous things. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh boy. Yeah, my sentiments exactly. You girls. With that, the three of us returned to finish the photo shoot. Sasami smiled as she sat by the poolside for her photos. I don't have to worry anymore. Because no matter what happens, I know Producer-san will always protect me. I saw that day he wasn't like the other managers. As long as he's my producer, I'll do my very best to become an idol. No matter what may come, I'm not going to give up. Because I owe Producer-san at least that much for what he did for me that day. Finally, the photo shoot was over. Oni-chan, I hope you have got lots of good shots of Aki-chan. Oh, yes, don't worry. Aki leaned over and looked at his camera. Show me what you took, show me. Well, I want this one on the mag. This one's definitely the best. Really? If that's what Aki-chan wants. I shook my head as Aki spun her spider webs around Kodama. Good work, everyone. Thank you for your work. Everyone was wonderful. We'll get to work right away to get these printed before your big live. Wonderful! Producer-san, we can get your girls an even bigger expose in one of our more mature publications if you desire. Simply give our office a call. We're not interested. With that, Mariah gathered the girls and led them away like a mother goose protecting her flock. She looked back at me with, "You better not sell us out to this scum," written all over her face. Well, you heard him. Too bad. Well, thank you very much. Likewise. Good luck in your endeavors, Producer-san. With a final bow, I followed the girls out of the pool room. Alrighty, moving along. 1 week after the pool photo shoot, I flipped through the pages of the proof version of the Weekend Zara. Well, I guess they turned out well enough. I looked up at the girls for their input. Natan was the first to break the silence. To think Natan's idol debut would be in such an ero poro mag. It's a fitting city debut, eh? I already feel like a Tokyo celeb. Well, I'm overall satisfied with how my photo turned out. It looks like these TGXI people at least know what they're doing. I'm in agreement. I believe my part came out as expected. Well, with a body like Nimu's, she would have had to purposefully fail for a photographer to turn out bad, or a photograph to turn out bad. Naturally, mine doesn't have any problems either. I turned my attention to the remaining girls. I flipped to Mika's page. Oh no. It's just a picture of my butt, Producers. True enough, the photograph was centered on her rear end, with her looking back at the camera with a slightly awkward expression. It was difficult to tell exactly what her face was doing. Was it a smile? A look of fear? Confusion? Not that most men would even notice Mika's facial expression with that ass right in front of them. In the end, the purpose of the extreme camera angle was to cover up Mika's lack of experience. Oh, jeez. To his credit, Kodama at least knew what he was doing. Once you're more experienced, you'll be able to take more natural photographs, Hashimoto-san. Understood. I flipped the page to Mariah's photograph. To tell the truth, I couldn't figure out why Mariah was dissatisfied. A casual viewer would merely see a slightly more mature woman smiling sensually, with her arms folded above her head in this photo. Plenty of men like this sort of thing, too. Whatever. I guess this is just the way things are now. I recalled the poster I saw in Sasami's room of Mariah as a fresh-faced teen idol. Was she comparing herself to those days? What about Sasa-chan? Me? Of course, I don't have any particular complaints. Indeed, Sasami's photograph was the most conservative of the bunch, with her staring longingly into the distance while sitting by the poolside. The shot brought out the image of youthful innocence in Sasami. Like I said, this Kodama guy was still working as an idol photographer, despite his personality, for a reason. There were some guys in this world who were complete asshats, but they were also good enough at their jobs to avoid criticism. We only have a week left until the live now. While our leaflet distribution campaign and this photo shoot may have helped raise awareness about Starnova, we've still got a long way to go before we can be recognized as a real idol group. In fact, if we were to debut live by ourselves, we would have difficulty getting anyone beyond family and friends to show up. Let's redouble our efforts so that our debut live is a success. After another long day of practice, the day ended. When the girls finally left the dance studio, they saw a black Century car parked in front of the office, with an old gentleman in a tuxedo waiting beside it. Looky that! Eh? Looks like something out of a movie, like a butler here to pick up some kind of rich heiress. What's a car like that doing here? To everyone's surprise, the butler spoke to the group, or rather someone in the group. Nimue-sama, please enter before you catch a cold. 6 pairs of incredulous eyes turned on Nimue. Eh? Ah, it's Fitzgerald-san. Fitzgerald-san? What the hell's up with that name? The matron has asked me to escort you home on a certain matter. Acting like the situation was completely normal, Nimue got into the back of the luxury car. I see. Then I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. The sudden plot development made the other girls stare at Nimue as if she had just revealed she was some minor deity or something. Of course, we heard at the beginning of kind of the introduction to the girl that she was from a rich family, but apparently more rich than we knew. Oi, what the... I didn't know Nimue was some kind of royalty. Are you for real? Do you live in some kind of huge western mansion? Oi, you've been holding out on us. Nimue only blinked in confusion. Shall we get going, Nimue-sama? Understood. Then I'll see you, everyone. The remaining girls looked on with their jaws agape as the car drove away. I guess some people really are born with a silver spoon in their mouths. Figures. Something like idling really would be a rich girl's hobby, eh? Commoners like us don't stand a chance against the likes of her. Julie's eyes narrowed, jealousy now bubbling in her chest. Fuck! I'm starting to dislike her all of a sudden. Well, it's not like Nimue did anything wrong. Whatever. I'm blowing this joint. Julie stomped away, grumbling to herself now. Mariah realized that she had gotten distracted as well. Crap, I'm gonna be late! She jogged away to the subway station. The manager's gonna give me... that's Mariah still. The manager's gonna give me hell if I show up late. With Julie and Mariah gone, the rest of the girls dispersed as well. Bye-bye. While the girls had already left for the night, I was still hard at work in the office. I sat before my computer, going over Nimue's profile. Akimoto Nimue. She was still a mystery to me, the eldest daughter of a real estate tycoon, and no doubt the heiress of an enormous fortune. And not only that, she rocked an incredible body with a G-sized bust, and had the perfect hardworking personality of a dream idol. Wouldn't such an impressive girl be signed on with a top-tier talent agency? Why was she even here with us? With no prior work history in the idol industry, it looked like she just decided to sign on at Shining on a whim. Was this just a rich Ojo-sama's hobby? But she seemed too serious about becoming an idol for her to just be here for fun. I leaned back on my chair. This girl's just too good to be true. Dun dun dun! But what's her secret? I suspect we'll soon find out. I didn't discover the shocking truth about Akimoto Nimue until 2 days had passed. Another day of leaflet distribution had ended. I arrived at Shinjuku Station as usual to gather the remaining box of leaflets. Just one more day of leaflet distribution until the live, huh? How are things looking, rather? We've managed to give away about 90% of the stock now. We're definitely in the final stretch. The nearly empty leaflet box confirmed Aki's words. I don't know how many people are taking the leaflets seriously, but... Aki motioned ahead, where Natan was chatting up a pair of otaku-looking guys. So now the girls have leveled up to profiling potential customers, huh? Heh, you better come and see me at the live. Natan ran back while waving at the two guys, who walked away, looking thoroughly dazed at having talked to a girl.
Yahoo!
P-kun! Thank you for working hard, everyone. We're almost ready for the live now.
今日もビシバシ働いてもらうぞ。
Producer-san's right. The rest of you better be prepared. I don't know if you know, but dancing on stage in front of fans is totally different from practice.
平気平気。
Don't worry. Mika-chan's cute, so it'll be alright. May the Night Lord watch over us.
お願いいたします。
Excuse me, Producer-san. I would like a word later. Nimu? Sure. Anyways, that's the way it is. I'm going back home. It's almost time for my other job. I'm off. I wonder if I'll finally be able to return to my resignation to the construction company after our debut.
月夜に包まれよ。
Then I return to the abyss. Alright, I'll see you girls tomorrow. The box of leftover leaflets was now light enough for me to carry. I picked up the box and turned to Nimu. Was something the matter? No, but I shall accompany you to the office. Really? Alright. We got off the train and headed back to the agency. It's pretty rare for me to get to talk to Nimu like this, huh?
誠ですか？
Yes, Producer-san. Sometimes I wonder what a girl like Nimu is doing at our agency. You know, there's probably much more well-known agencies who would be glad to sign you on.
私は。
No, it is my belief that my place is at Shining, along with the girls of Starnova. Really? Nimu sure got convictions, huh? Kinda like a dream idol. I'm no such thing. I'm sorry for the troubles I caused Producer-san. No doubt he will be greatly burdened by my presence. So what's the reveal? Ah, no. I feel lucky to have you on board with this. Alright, I'll do my very best to turn Nimu into an idol. I can't let you down after all this, right? Suddenly, I felt a drop of water land on my shoulder. The drips intensified into a sudden rain shower. Crap, the leaflets! Excuse me. I did my best to cover up the exposed cardboard box, and hustled over the nearest roofed entryway of a business. This isn't good. I don't even have an umbrella.
ねむねむ。
Ara. Perhaps the rain will soon pass on. Let's hope so. I stood beside Nimu under a small gate, now close enough to faintly smell her perfume. Even I couldn't help but glance over at her. Her chest really was colossal. How was such a monument to mankind's hopes and dreams possible? Producer or not, I was still a man. There was no way I could stand so close to Nimu and not at least take a peek at her assets.
あら。
Producer-san, are you by chance looking at my chest? Crap! I totally forgot about this woman's scary intuition. It's only natural in this situation, no? These are two of Nimu's pride points! I would be more offended if Producer-san didn't take a gander. She playfully stuck her tongue out and jiggled her chest for me. Producer-san, did you get a good look at them during the photo shoot? Perhaps you want to see more? Ugh. Pheromone overdose. I calmed myself down. Idols made a profession out of appealing to men. How could I call myself a producer if I let my talents play with me in the palm of their hands? Well, I'm just glad you have them. I'm sure they'll be very beneficial for your career. Okay? Anyways, the rain's sure not showing any sign of letting up, huh? Suddenly, lightning split the night sky, momentarily bleaching the street white, before sending a sharp crack echoing through the entire city. Hee! Nimu jumped and wrapped herself around me. Yuck! The very honkers I was staring at a moment ago pressed two squishy impressions into my back. Akimoto-san, calm... While Nimu was wrapped around me, a windowless white van came out of nowhere and screeched to a halt in front of us. Like clockwork, 4 musclemen in black suits piled out and marched straight towards where we were standing. What the hell was this sudden development? Oh, is she like from a Yakuza family or something? Akimoto-san! But Nimu was still clinging to my back, completely oblivious to the approaching danger. Shit! What was going on? Before I could say another word, One of the skinheads tore Nimue from me and grabbed onto her wrist. Eh? Nimue's face froze in surprise as she was swiftly shoved into the white van. Oh shit! A kidnapping? Wait! I rushed towards the van. I couldn't just let one of my talents be snatched out from under my nose. Before I could take another step, I was grabbed by the arm by one of the muscleheads. He immediately subdued me by pinning my arm behind my back. Ugh! Shit! They weren't just regular street goons. These guys were pros. An idle producer like me was no match against them. He stuffed a handkerchief into my face. As soon as I breathed, my eyes rolled up into my skull and I felt a deep, black abyss. Or fell into a deep, black abyss. I regained consciousness, surrounded by darkness. For a moment, I didn't even realize I'd come to, until I felt the cold, hard floor pressed against my face. Ooh. Sorry, excuse me. Where was I? Shit, who knew things like this happened in Japan? Could it be the kidnappers planned to hold Nimue for ransom, and I was just caught in the middle? After all, she was the daughter of a multi-millionaire. Now that I thought about it, something like that seemed entirely plausible. For now, I had to calm down, and wait for rescue. I heard the lock spin, the door flung open, and I was pulled to my feet by another of the skinheads. Just like the rest of the kidnappers, he was clad in a black suit. He pushed me out of my containment cell and led me down a hallway. I was led into what appeared to be an enormous luxury office. From the windows, I could tell we were high up in a skyscraper. Producer-san! I sighed in relief upon seeing Nimue unharmed. Akimoto-san! I'm glad they didn't harm you. Of course. After all... Nimue turned towards a sharply dressed, tall, middle-aged woman standing by the windows. Rain poured against the windows and ran down the pane, distorting the city lights in the horizon. The woman turned to face me. You must be Nimue's producer. She walked towards me with the disdainful eyes of a woman judging a man accused of a sex crime. You have my apologies for the rough treatment. I did not mean to involve you in this family affair. I'm Haruna Akimoto. Perhaps you are more familiar with my company. Amaterasu Television. Amaterasu Television? That was a major Tokyo television network, with nationwide broadcasting rights, as well as the maker of countless popular shows. And not only that, but the owner of such a mammoth corporation was Nimue's mother? Certainly, she referred to this as a family affair, and shared Nimue's surname. However, judging from her looks, the woman woman before me looked nothing like Nimue. Her body was slender and gaunt, and she had the face of a bird of prey. Haruna-san, please let Producer-san go. He doesn't have anything to do with this. Nothing to do with this? Well, regardless of how he got here, this will go more smoothly now that your producer is here as well. I'll get right to the point, Producer-san. Nimue shall never become an idol. You're wrong. Outside, lightning lit the skies. A member of my family, pouring herself out on pages of lowbrow rags like this. It is simply unthinkable. Nimue's mother slammed her fist on her desk, where a copy of the Weekend Zara was flipped open to the page featuring Nimue. I know very well that these companies are nothing more than predatory scams that fool naive girls into working for the adult entertainment industry, and Nimue shall take no part in it. It is simply unthinkable. I gulped. It looked like I'd gotten myself into yet another unbelievable mess. I put the palms of my hands together before me and tried to soothe the situation over in my most diplomatic tone. Akimoto-san, please understand, there was absolutely nothing adult about the photo shoot in question. As you know, this kind of photography is widespread in the entertainment industry, and commonly accepted as merely... Silence! Haruna-san, I'm the one who decided to take these photographs. It wasn't Producer-san's idea. What I do with my life is none of your concern. Now let us go and tell your goons to keep away from us. This is for your own good, Nimue. Besides, how do you expect to work as an idol with your condition? Condition? What was she talking about? The thought of you bringing further shame to the Akimoto household by continuing with this nonsense makes me want to vomit. Shame is all you've brought to this family from the moment you were born. That's... Nimu's shoulders began to tremble. Her face contorted as fury boiled over in her chest, and slowly bubbled up into her throat. That's... Suddenly, the door to the office flung open. Ah! There you are, my daughter. Father. For once, Mrs. Akimoto's eyes widened in surprise upon the unexpected arrival of her husband. Dear, you mustn't run away from home like that, Nimu. Your mother was worried sick and had to use her workers to find you. Tears welled up in Nimu's eyes as she embraced her father. But Mother told me I couldn't work as an idol any longer. Now, your mother was merely looking out for you, as any mother would. My dear, it is late. A child must dream. Let us table this matter for another day. For now, let us be in relief that our daughter has been safely found. Mrs. Akimoto rubbed her face. Very well. Do not ever run away from this household again, Nimu.
申し訳ありません。
Understood. For now, Mrs. Akimoto satisfied herself with that small victory and marched out to speak with her husband in the hallway. I figured out the gist of the situation. While Nimu's mother vehemently opposed Nimu's desire to become an idol, her father apparently still doted on his beautiful daughter. As for the kidnapping attempt, Nimu must have run away from home the previous night when her mother confronted her about the photo shoot. While I was completely oblivious to the situation, her mother must have deployed paid security to be on the lookout for her around the agency. With the tense situation diffused for now, I couldn't help but sigh in relief. For now, it looked like I'd lucked out. I walked out of Amaterasu Television with Nimu. Now that I was outside, I could see the enormous skyscraper seem to ascend to the heavens itself. I could hardly even see the top floors of the building beyond the thick rain clouds.
申し訳ありません。
I'm so sorry about this, producer-san. No, it was nothing. That was actually pretty exciting. Felt like I was inside a movie or something for a minute there. I tried my best to laugh off my kidnapping experience. Anyways, I understand the gist of the situation now. Akimoto-san, perhaps you should heed your mother's words. There's no question that your mother is a powerful figure in the entertainment world. If she is opposed to your debut as an idol, then... I stopped myself. This was a decision that only Nimu could make. I couldn't railroad her down a certain path for my own sake. That woman is not my mother. She merely cares about her own reputation, but I'll prove her wrong by becoming Japan's top idol. Once I've done that, she'll have no choice but to recognize me. One day, she'll see that she was wrong. Akimoto-san. I put my hands down. So, this was the strength of her resolve. Alright. Then as your producer, I'm willing to stand with you every step of the way on your path to becoming a top idol. Her eyes just went blank and it's like freaking me out. Nimu's voice took on a different tone from usual. Yes, producer-san, we shall, the two of us. No matter what. Is she psychotic? Lightning lit up Nimu's face, sending crackles booming through the night. Yet she did not flinch as she did before. For a split second, I saw an expression I'd never witnessed before slashed across Nimu's face. The roar of thunder drowned out her words. As soon as the night's darkness returned, Nimu's face returned to normal. Did I imagine it?
よろしいでしょうか。
Producer-san? Is something the matter? No, nothing.
さようなら、プロデューサーさん。
I shall see you tomorrow. Alright, have a good night. With that, we went our separate ways. Okay. So, like in Love in Space's Sunrider series, old Nimu, aka Claude, if we're comparing the two, because, I mean, they look almost exactly alike. There's a lot more to her than meets the eye, it seems. Okay, but yeah, that is going to be the end of today's episode. That was amusing. I still feel like the pacing of this game is it's a little off, you know? And I also feel like the dialogue bothers me a little. There's a lot of referring to someone they're talking to in the third person, which grates on my nerves a little bit. But yeah, beyond that, I'm still enjoying the game. I enjoy the tone of the scenes, even though I feel like a lot of them are kind of rushed, more or less. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.